in. It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel.
All right, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Monday evening, broadcasting from the B-Level Entertainment Studios. I'm your host, B-Level, and today we have a special edition of On the Level with B-Level. Now, you guys know that On the Level with B-Level, where we have conversation with extraordinary people doing extraordinary thing, and I most certainly have an extraordinary person that I've been trying to get on the platform for some time now. Let me go ahead and bring my friend up front. Good evening, Mayor. How are you?
Good evening, brother. How you doing?
Thank you. I want to start off by saying
that long. Don't say it's been that long.
I want to start off by saying thank you for being a part of our 100th episode. Yesterday, we celebrated our 100th episode, and I've been trying to get you on the platform for some time now. Just so happened that your schedule opened up so that you could come and celebrate 100 episodes in episode time. That's a long time. That's equivalent to a small business is making it past a year. So thank you for taking some time to come have some conversation with us on the UTB podcast tonight.
Well, my honor and pleasure. It's always great to be with you, my big brother. You and I go way back. I also want to commend you on all the great things that you continue to do in the community, and also as not only as a entrepreneur, but a creative, always bringing new innovative ideas to the city, and not just the city, but to the state. And so I want to, on behalf of the city of Little Rock, commend you on doing the 100 episodes. That's a stellar feat. It's clearly a demonstration of your persistence as you move things forward. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. Let me introduce you, and then I won't keep you long. We're going to get into some conversation, okay? My guest today is the youngest elected mayor of Little Rock at the age of 35. He is the president of the African American Mayors Association nationally. He is responsible for more than 11,000 new jobs in our city to date. He was the deputy policy director and the director of intergovernmental affairs with Governor Mike Beebe. He was a community banker before he got into politics with First Security Bank. He's a graduate of the University of Memphis. He was the first ever popular elected African-American mayor. He is the 73rd mayor, and my friend, the Honorable Frank Scott Jr. Did I do you good on that intro?
You did. I'm glad you. I got to figure out who that person is. So no, thank you.
Now I know, Mayor, that people have heard some of the things you have been in office for. You're in your second term, so a little bit over 7 years now.
Mm-hmm. We were elected on December 4th of 2018 in a runoff election, and took office January 1st of 2019. So I'm in my 7th year right now.
So I know. I know a lot of people have, we're going to get into some of your accolades and some of the things you've accomplished, but I do want our viewers to know who you are personally, who you are, but beyond the mayor duties, and who you were as a young person. So my first question that I have is very simple. Who is Frank Scott Jr.?
Man, as I often say, just a young brother, born, raised, still reside in Southwest Little Rock, and came from very modest means, and did not expect that I would ever get the opportunity to lead my hometown. And so I'm here to do one thing, and that's to unite, grow, and transform the city of Little Rock, to help us to be a catalyst for the New South. And so we've had the opportunity through being blessed in 2019 to lead our city through some historic times, not only from an economic growth standpoint, population growth standpoint, but I think we all know the unexpected things of COVID-19 pandemic, historic floods, historic snowstorms, a high-end EF3 tornado. I often kind of kid around. I'm just waiting on Lotus to come by because we've been through so much from a crisis standpoint. But that's who I am. I'm just, and most folks, I think this. Many people think that I am a extrovert because of the role that I play, but I'm pretty much introvert, and so I tend to kind of be a shy person. And clear in this role, you got to know how to turn it on and speak when you need to speak. But I'm just someone who's been gratefully blessed to sit in this position, literally to lead a city that I grew up in and to help chart us towards a future. And we all work through that together. I got a great team and village that's allowed me to do what we are able to do together. And so that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm sure throughout the process, there'll be some more things. You'll pull more things out of me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What, Mayor, what went in your decision as you were deciding to run for your first race? What went in your decision deciding that you wanted to get in politics, ultimately running for the city seat of the mayor seat of Little Rock?
A quote I kind of live by is don't be seen, don't serve to be seen serving. And so when I was kind of coming back to Little Rock after college at the University of Memphis, I was really involved in the political scene, but really the community service scene, and really kind of playing, a role player, truly help serving other folks to get different things accomplished for the community. And it kind of became a point in time that as I was navigating my 20s and as I was going through my early 30s, um, I began to get frustrated with some things that were happening in the city. And through that frustration, I decided to offer myself up for public service. And so I tell people all the time, fear and frustration are two great motivators. And so
Mhm.
through that frustration, I decided to run to figure out how we truly can unite the city, grow it, and transform it. Because I knew from a number of different things, from equitable economics to the current state of our educational system, we had been taken over by the state during that time, and a lot of that played a role in making that decision. And through that frustration, I decided to run to figure out how we could unite the city, grow it, and transform it to truly be a catalyst for the New South.
Well, good. I said in my introduction that you were the youngest elected mayor at only 35 years old. When you came in, I remember you having to change a lot how city government was ran. You guys had if I'm remembering right, you had a city manager that was basically running the CEO of the city, and you changed some things. Was that at the beginning because you were new? Was there a little pushback, with the way people, with the way government was ran before?
Oh, most definitely. I think the city of Little Rock, due to, and that's probably another podcast to kind of talk about our form
Yeah,
of government
yeah.
and and how the civil rights movement played in its changing to our detriment. I would contend, and ultimately we being the city, changed things to move closer to what it was before. Um, the issues that came about within the civil rights movement. And so essentially, our city was a true mayor council form of government up until 1957. Then Mayor Woodward Mann, he was the mayor that called President Eisenhower to allow to help the Little Rock Nine with the 101st Airborne Troops to walk them inside Little Rock Central High School. That same mayor also helped integrate the bus system to allow Black people to ride the bus. And so, because of those things, he was probably a man before his time. The fathers of the city changed the form of government to what they call the city management form of government, what they dubbed as the businessman form of government, to kind of decentralize power from the community and from the people. And so up until the late 90s, somewhere around 95, 96, many community members wanted to go closer back to a mayor council form of government where the mayor was the CEO, but they also wanted to keep in the city manager to be more of a chief administrative officer. That happened essentially in 2007 under Mayor Stodola. He kind of ushered in that change. And so by the time it was for our election, myself and others who were competing to run for mayor all stated that we wanted to fully implement that change. And so once we got elected, we fully implemented the change of the mayor truly being a chief executive officer running the departments of the city and working in collaboration with the chief administrative officer as any CEO would. And so we changed a lot and began to hire and fire, more so hiring at that time, things that needed to be done to have the appropriate department leaders as we did make those hiring decisions and to truly lead our city towards the future. So that's from the operational standpoint what we were able to do, and which was a change from the mayor having that type of purview to make those kind of decisions. And people knew it could happen. I think, the could and actually happening, kind of caught some people off guard. They're like, oh, this is what it looks like. And so that came with some positivity, and some was like, oh, we didn't know it operates like this. And so it's more like, other cities, which we contend it should and has been, and grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, when you haven't changed, sometimes people don't embrace change. Change is difficult for people. As it relates to the day-to-day opera. How hard was that for you? I mean, obviously you were successful because you stayed the course and you actually changed it. But were there a lot of resistance at the beginning?
Yeah, a lot of people speak to change and share how much they want change, but when it actually happens, particularly the change is happening to them, you definitely experience that resistance. And I come from a theory of anytime you're implementing any type of organizational change, you're going to have those that are going to accept the change, those that are going to reject the change, and those that try to wait you out. And so, those that accept the change, great, we all moving forward. And those that reject the change, we respect that. But when you reject the change, you are willfully, changing course and leaving that organization. And those who try to wait you out, that's what you have performance management for. And so it's been that's more from what we had to do initially. And then in the community externally, I think people were very happy that it was hey, just go to the mayor and his team, and which also included the chief administrative officer, but it was a true, this is how you make the decisions in the city, of course, including if it had to go to the city board, which serves as the city council, as we move forward. I think what people wanted was a one-stop shop on, okay, who do we hold accountable on these decisions, and not passing the buck. Oh, you go to the mayor for this, or you go to the city manager for that, or you go to the city board for this. It's okay. If the mayor's the chief executive officer, the buck stops with she or him.
Right.
And that comes, as I tell people all the time, in my role as the leader, I get all the credit for anything good, whether I have anything to do with it or not. And I also get all the criticism with anything bad, whether I have anything to do with it or not.
But trust me, we know about criticism in this podcasting. Sometimes you get a lot of criticism before you have growth. So I do understand the criticism part. Back in 2019, Mayor, you decided to release Little Rock's first ever critical incident report. There was a situation where we had a police officer that came upon a young man who was in what I thought, and I'm going to say it in my words, a stolen vehicle. And that led to that young man losing his life. It was very controversial. It was very in the public's eye. What went in your decision to release the first ever critical incident report? For those of you guys don't know, a critical incident report is video that shows detail what happened. Am I explaining that right? What actually happened that afternoon or that evening? It shows video of the critical incident. Did I explain that correctly?
Yes. What I will, and there's only so much I can say because there's still some litigation going on with that very tragic incident
Okay.
with Bradley Blackshire, and I remain in prayer for his family. There's certain things I can't say about it, but I can speak to this critical incident video. It was very apparent that it happened on um, somewhere around my 53rd day in office.
Mm.
So, newly elected mayor. And one of the things that we always espoused upon was to be accountable, clear, and transparent, and particularly as it related to public safety reform and public safety within the community. And so, one, after uh, being notified of the incident and understanding what all had happened, and we made the decision to be accountable, clear, and transparent with releasing that video, subject to the legal ramifications, legal parameters that we had. And so we did that, and that um, came with its credit and criticism by releasing that video. But I think one of the things that's been learned over a period of time, a part of public safety reform, is to be accountable, clear, and transparent. We were the first city to do that in the state, and probably one of the initial cities across this country to do that as it relates to those type of officer-involved shooting incidents. As we've seen move forward, our city has led the way in public safety reform as well as public safety crime reduction. Whether it's one creating the policy for a critical incident video that many cities across our state and across this nation now utilize, to the duty to intervene policy, the banning chokehold policies, and significantly reducing the usage of no-knock warrants. All those came through our policy package as we have been in our administration.
Good. What, obviously you have accomplished a lot of things. You got in politics fairly early. What is your motivation, Mayor, to be so accomplished and driven at a young age? Most times success comes much after you've been in some time. You've had some great success early. What's your motivation in that?
Again, I'm here by the grace of God. You know my story. I didn't initially, I didn't expect to go to college. That wasn't something on my radar. But for my mother, I probably would have never gone. And that really opened my eyes a lot, going off to the University of Memphis, because I found myself when I went to University of Memphis, as far as coming into my own and my mindset, and just seeing different things. And then coming back to Little Rock, I was really just focused on business, but because I've always had a public service mindset, um, I wanted to be involved, be engaged, but never to be the elected official. That wasn't initially on my vision board, as folks would say. But through that service, God just significantly positioned me, whether it was when I was a manager at Target in Maumelle, Arkansas, and then I was working leading the overnight weekend shift, and I got a phone call to help some folks out with then Attorney General Mike Beebe, who
Right.
was running to become a Democratic governor, to go help out the deputy campaign manager by the name of Lamar Davis. And so I joined that team as a professional volunteer. And when I say professional volunteer, I was working 10 months, Tuesday through Friday, for free for the campaign. And Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was working a 60-hour shift at Target. And ultimately, Governor Beebe wins, becomes governor. His team reaches out and asks me to join his policy administration. And then that's where I was able to spread my wings and truly understand government, understand public policy. And God just kept making moves along the way. And then ultimately becoming a highway commissioner, and then remaining involved and seeing what was going on around the city, and ultimately making a decision out of frustration with what things that were happening in the city to run for office. And so I'm here because of the grace of God. It's no secret. The secret sauce is God. And so, and so I just, and his timing,
Yeah.
and to put here, but ultimately I'm a servant at heart. And I think those who are around me know that. And I'm always trying to figure out how to do things better for our city, for our residents, whether it's known or unknown, to
Right.
help us, but particularly the least of these.
Well, good. I have two more personal questions, and then we'll get into some of the accolades. Two more personal questions. The first question I had, Mayor, if I was to hook your Apple Play up, your phone, if I was to get in your truck and hook your Apple Play up, what top 3 artists would the mayor be listening to on any given day and riding through the city of Little Rock? What is the mayor listening to?
Now, what we haven't discussed, you also know I'm an associate pastor. That's why I reference God a lot, but also you've seen me in your club as well. So it's gonna sound very crazy. People will get on here. My friend and colleague, brother, city director Antoine Phillips. We clearly, if you know him, it's gonna be Jay-Z. I'm not gonna be on brand and say,
okay.
I'm sure you had him on here.
Yes,
you go
I
to his
did.
house. He got all the Jay-Z quotes. That's
yes.
not me. I like Jay-Z, but not that much.
Okay. All right. Okay.
One of my favorite artists is Big Sean. One of his songs that I love the most is Bigger Than Me.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Wale.
Okay.
Right now, I probably listen to it's gonna sound. Don't judge me. A lot of Future. Future's pretty cool. And then of course, I got gospel music I love, but also Larry June. I like just some more of a. I want to really know what you're talking about in your lyrics, and so
Okay.
Larry June, I've been listening to a lot lately, and that's kind of
Okay.
something.
All right. Okay.
Big Sean, Larry June.
I can live with that. I can live with that. I can live with that.
But I went to school at University of Memphis, so there's a little 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, you gotta have some trap music in there. Now you gotta have. If you go to University of Memphis, you gotta have some trap music. You cannot graduate from the Memphis without trap music.
But and Yo God is another one. So I'm not gonna. Again, I leave that to Director Phillips.
Okay, listen, Mayor. What do you do for pastime? What do you enjoy doing when you're not doing official mayor? What is your hobby?
My hobby, I'm a film enthusiast, and so I love just to watch movies and film of all genres, documentaries, series. If I have any free time, I will have my iPad, Netflix, Paramount.
Right.
Those are different things that I love to watch. And
Good,
so,
good.
one thing I just got finished watching is Mobland.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool, interesting deal, and so I'm all about the movies.
Well, we're going to move over to public safety. We're going to get out of personal and go to public safety and justice. You talked about this critical incident with the thing going on with the young man that lost his life. How will you build better relationship between law enforcement and the community? And I know that's more of a LRPD question, but how do you think that they're going to bridge that gap between community and the policing?
Well, first off, and again, speaking to Bradley Blackshire, and continue to be in prayer for his family with what occurred. And again, as I share, I can't speak to too much on that from a legal standpoint.
Yeah.
But what we do within part of the standard is that the city, Little Rock Police Department, has to have a standard of community, 21st century community policing,
Right.
the understanding of de-escalation tactics to
Right.
be utilized. The reason why we have body-worn cameras, we were the first city in the state under my administration to deploy body-worn cameras for all of our patrol officers.
Right.
To the various policies I shared earlier, what we do. It's a standard that I hold them accountable to, that we're going to be focused on public safety and how we reduce crime, but also making certain that we have public safety reform. And part of public safety reform is to have true community policing, community interaction. So Chief Helton, who is our chief of police, has leads with that. And there's always areas for improvement. I don't want to get here and say that everything's perfect, but
Absolutely.
they've been leading in that area and building that trust. There's always room for improvement, and that's what they're focused on.
What's in the plan for LRPD and your administration to reduce crime and address its root cause?
Well, what we've been doing is it's a twofold approach of what we call holistic crime reduction approach. Is that where you have to have targeted patrol in high crime areas, but also have the same balance of resources deployed for prevention, intervention, and treatment programming. We are giving dollars to organizations to truly get to the root cause of why a young person may be committing crime, leading a life of crime, and how do we prevent that from happening to engage as we move forward. So we have a set of somewhere between $5 to $7 million that we work with organizations to get to those root causes.
Right.
When it comes, our officers are occurring at the instance, but there were so many steps before that incident happened
Right.
that we could have prevented or worked to prevent through our organization that we fund. So that's that dual approach of prevention, intervention, treatment that we provide for the community to prevent individuals from committing a life of crime, addressing those root causes, to also the targeted patrols, the usage of different methods to reduce crime. And so as a result of that dual holistic crime reduction approach, we've seen violent crime and overall crime be reduced close to 20% over the past 5 years, and year to date,
Good.
18%. And so we're excited about that. But also, again, I want to be very clear that we still have to always focus on how you rebuild trust, how do you focus on community policing and community interactions, and constant training of our officers and how they engage with our residents.
Well, let's move over to future vision. How is there a term limit as to how many terms that a mayor can serve and can be reelected? Are there term limits?
There are no term limits in the state of Arkansas for
Okay.
any municipal race. So a mayor and a city council member can run as much as the people will allow he or she to run. So there are no term limits. So I'm in my second term. I will run for a third term. I can't talk too much about politics because we're in City Hall, but I can always
Gotcha.
answer a question because I don't want to seem like I'm campaigning at City Hall, because I'm not campaigning as we're saying this on camera.
Yeah.
In case somebody want to pull up your video.
Right.
But I'm just answering your question.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to go deep into about politics, but are there any plans for you to run for a governor seat at some point in time?
No plans
Okay.
whatsoever at this time, or
Okay.
I don't. No plans. The only plans I have is to be the mayor of the city of Little Rock and to continue to unite, grow, and transform our city. I really love this job. You know that just in some of our conversations.
Yeah.
And I think we need that kind of commitment to our city. We've seen a lot of growth as we talked about. Of the course of our tenure, we've seen historic jobs growth, close to now 11 to 13,000 new jobs under our administration. The city of Little Rock leads the state in overall employment. What we've been able to do, whether it's been Amazon, Trex, HMS Manufacturing, Topgolf, Trader Joe's, Costco, which I would call that destination retail. We are leading Forbes magazine as a place to be as relates to young professionals moving, leading in real estate magazine for most affordable place to live. We're in all these top 10 in livablecity.com. Things are going well. And even just this last week, travel.com just shared we're the most underrated city.
Right.
And so irrespective of rates or being rated or not, it's my job to take us to the next level so we can truly reach our potential. And we've been able to do that because of our team,
Right.
because of our city council that's working with us to get things done. And we are just grateful to have this positioning. And we're really at a place just yesterday, last week, we're also number 2, we're in the top 10 in GDP growth, which means gross domestic product. And in layman's terms, it means we are really growing as it relates to jobs. And so we're in the top 10. We're number 2, number 1 being Nashville. I think we all can attest the type of growth that we're seeing in the city of Nashville. And for Little Rock to be up there with other peer cities and state capital cities, that's a big deal. And we got to keep leaning in on that so we can have more economic opportunity for our residents, for the workforce that's here as we move forward together.
Well, you was talking about just companies that you're encouraging to come. What goes into you and your administration figuring out we want to invite a company to come to Arkansas? What goes into you guys going after these companies to encourage them to come to Arkansas?
So a lot of sales. You got to ask for the business. Number one, I know you
Right.
know that you got to ask for the business. But we spend a lot of time on looking at data and metrics on what makes Little Rock great and appealing to other companies. There's a reason why Amazon has located 5 of their distribution centers here, and that's the reason why Amazon is thinking about potentially locating an Amazon Air. There's a reason why these companies that I've been listing. One is because of a few different things. One, River Railroad and Runaway all intersect in downtown Little Rock. And so when you have Interstate 40 being the most traveled interstate in the U.S., and Interstate 30 is in the top 10. And so we've become both a distribution and a logistics hub. Secondly, in Arkansas, Arkansas's 25% of the economic output in Arkansas is with healthcare, and most
Hmm.
of that healthcare is located in the city of Little Rock, whether it's UMS being the state's only graduate medical education institution, to Baptist, to CHI St. Vincent, and all of the ancillary companies that come out of the healthcare system. And so that becomes a destination because we have residents of Arkansas that travel at least 2 hours for healthcare. And so that
Yeah.
really dove nicely into different things. And then technology has really been taken off here in our state. And so we leverage our assets of River Railroad and Runway, the asset of being a distribution and logistics hub and healthcare. And that's what we utilize working with what we call site selection consultants
Okay.
to locate folks here. And so it's a lot of time, it's a lot of meetings, a lot of travel to bring those individuals here to get it done that way. And that comes with our strategic partnership with the Little Rock Regional Chamber and the City of Little Rock Board of Directors, and just having the boots on the ground to really ask for the business.
Well, you and your administration have done a really good job bringing jobs to the city. I read that you guys are instrumental in having over 11,000 jobs. That is a lot of people that are paying their rent, being able to provide for their families under your administration and the city board director. You guys are doing a great job in that. Got two more questions and then we'll end. How do you stay accessible and accountable to the people that you represent?
For one, because I give my phone number out to everybody.
So everybody can call Mayor Frank Scott Jr.
I'll put it like this: if you don't have my number, it won't be hard to find it.
Okay, okay. All
uh,
right.
being being a millennial mayor, I think you have to be accessible, whether it's by phone, social media, but also I'm a very present mayor. I think if you
Hmm.
follow me on social media, you know that I go to any and every event, whether it's 5 people to 5,000 people, and so I think. You have to stay close to the people. The residents of Little Rock are my bosses. I'm here because they voted for me, and they also can vote me out. And so I think it's imperative that I'm someone that's approachable and accessible to get the job done. And so I wake up every day trying to say yes to everyone. Clear in this job, you can't say yes to everyone, but many times people just want to have a response. They want to have an answer, and if even the answer is no, they want to know why, and you're
Hmm.
able to share that with them in a very authentic way. And so I hold myself accountable by being accessible. And I tell you, some of my staff get mad at me when I'm at different meetings and I share my cell phone number because it's like, no, that's what we're here for. That's
Right.
fine. But I probably do that a little too much, but that's part of it.
Well, last question that I'll ask is what have you done or are you and your administration doing to support public schools and improve educational outcomes?
No, that's a great question. One of the things that I shared alluded to, one of the frustrations I had in making a decision and running for mayor initially was what was going on within the school district. Even though the city of Little Rock doesn't have any direct control over Little Rock School District, it's imperative that the city be involved. And so at that point in time, myself, alongside many different local leaders like State Senator Joyce Elliott, City Director Antoine Phillips, who at the time was not a city director, and a host of others, Dr. J. Barr,
Yeah.
uh, just to we can keep going. There was a lot of frustration in the city that we had been taken over for the reasons that we were taken over. None of us believed it was for the right reasons, and so out of that frustration, I decided to run. When we won, it was unfortunate. Literally 60 years after the Little Rock Nine, we were under state control, and so one of the things that my administration team and other local leaders, we set out to work with the state and say, hey, we'll put our money where our mouth is. The City of Little Rock will step up to create a strategic partnership with the Little Rock School District and create a community schools model. And so we hired a chief education officer to implement a community school model for, at the time, what was dubbed as the most at-risk schools within the Little Rock School District. And
Right.
so what that looks like is we did a needs assessment on those individual schools. So while we can't control what happens outside of the schoolhouse, we can't control what happens once our students get inside the schoolhouse. And so through that needs assessment, we provide wraparound services at each particular school. So one school may have a vision and health clinic. Another school may have social workers and mental health therapists. And so we provide those services to help aid that student in whatever they may be dealing with outside of the classroom. So when they get to the classroom, they can focus on achievement. And so we initially started with 3 or 4 schools. We're now at 9.
Right.
And we've been doing that for quite some time. And now it's become a statewide public policy model that other school districts around the U.S., around the state, are able to implement. And so we're grateful for the relationship we have with Little Rock School District, Little Rock School Board members under the leadership of Dr. Jamal Wright, and then originally Mike Poore, who helped put it into implementation alongside the City of Little Rock Board of Directors. And so that's what we've been doing. That's where we found our lane to focus on how we help our children.
Well, last, before we go, I'm going to, and you didn't know I was going to do this, Mayor. I'm going to play your acceptance speech from 2019. I bet you didn't think that I'd find it and I got it. It's a scaled down version. It's only 3 minutes. I do want to play it, but I got a question that I want to ask you before we get out of here. You probably didn't know I was going to have this video. Here it goes, and we'll come back. We'll come back and talk about it. Here it goes.
First, I just want to say it is good to see Little Rock right now. It's good to see every race, every culture, every faith, every sexual orientation, every gender identity, because this is all about unifying our city. First and foremost, I have to say, I wouldn't be here without 2 people. My father and my mother. I have to thank my village, my family, my friends, my loved ones, all those from Southwest Louisiana. We started this journey making certain that we were going to directly engage each and every voter. So I thank every volunteer, every team member, every donor, every voter, anybody that shot up a prayer or a positive vibe. We just going to say thank you. I thank everyone, but most importantly, I thank every voter, whether you voted for me or not. I thank you. And for the voters that did not vote for us, I want to earn your support. Because our mission and vision started on September the 12th, 2017. People thought it was funny, but we wanted to talk about unifying our city. And we understand that that resonated from the deep bowels of each of our souls. And so I want to say thank you. But it's not only about unifying our city, it's about securing our communities. But not only about that, we have to make certain that we reach our educational achievement. We have to make certain that we get our school board back yesterday. As we knocked on the doors, we found out that yes, safety polls well. Yes, jobs pose well, but we understood by we talked to every mother, every father, every child that we have to have more opportunities for our children so we don't lose them to the streets. And then
I remember, Mayor, I was actually there that night and you doing your acceptance speech. What emotion when you finally found out that you had campaigned, there was a runoff, you had to do a re-election, a re-runoff? What went into your emotional part of your body when you knew that you were going to be the next mayor? How did you feel that night?
It was extreme gratefulness to God. I was happy that it was over, emotionally and physically exhausted, and also on an emotional and physical high. And it's just when you are able to persevere through a lot of challenges, a lot of lies, gossip, backbiting, hating. It all went on in that campaign, and to finally have it to be completed,
Mm,
but with victory, it was a huge weight off of our shoulder,
right.
and just all we wanted to do was just share appreciation to those who saw and caught the vision, and we've been able to do right now, and so it's just I almost got a little emotional watching it, and so seeing it again and just remembering that night. Um, so yeah, a lot of
Well,
emotion.
I want to tell you that I am proud of you, as my little brother. We're not the brother from the same mother, but you are somebody that I look up to. I look to. You have made city government here in this city look different. You have made city government accessible to everyone. Before you came, I always say this, that there was the good old boy system, and you have turned city government to look different. And so I want you to know that I am proud of you. I am praying for you. I am always a phone call away. You have been there for my family. You have been there for all of the businesses that I've owned. And I'm certainly grateful for you. And I'm grateful for what you do for the city of Little Rock.
Well, thank you. And as I often share, it's about the we, not me. So I got a great team that allows this administration to move forward and move in the way that we move. And it's just our goal to keep moving that way and moving forward. So thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Well, I'll let you go. You gave me, I asked you to give me 30 minutes, and I got there at the 30 minutes. So thank you for this evening, and keep listening to UTB, Mayor.
We'll do. We'll do. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on completing 100 episodes.
All right. Good evening.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, so that was the On the Level with B Level. This, as I said, that Mayor Frank Scott Jr. Has really made city government look different. He has made city government be accountable. He's made the LRPD people be accountable. I'm really, really proud of him. And so I do want to say to the listeners also, thank you for viewing us for 100th episodes. We continue to have the conversations that people want to talk about. Keep supporting UTB. And thank you for celebrating 100 episodes. Before we get out of here, we still have to talk about On the Level with B Level. That's happening every Wednesday at 7 p.m. This Wednesday, we have attorney Bobby Forrest that's going to be on the podcast. Attorney Bobby Forrest, he is running for Attorney Bobby Forrest Jr. I need to say his name. He is running for a prosecuting attorney, and he will be on the platform on this Wednesday at 7:30. We do have the whole calendar, and after then, we will have Coach Reggie Swinton at Jacksonville High School, and then we will end the month with Bishop Stephen Arnold. Anyway, good night, and I will see you on Wednesday at 7:30 with On the Level with B Level. Good night, and see you same bat time, same bat channel. Good night.
You had another rough conversation with the voices in